Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother, you're walking on. I want to first off give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. And salute to the brothers that's going out there week in and week out and prophesying the downfall of America and the rising of Israel. I wanted to go into today cannibalism in the scriptures, because we headed into a time where it's the end of Esau in the Esau's world, and it's the beginning of sorrows. So you're gonna have a lot of things like cannibalism coming back to this earth, So I wanted to get a couple of scriptures on that topic. I'm gonna start off with the book of 1 Kings, chapter 6. The book of 1 Kings, like 2 Kings, chapter 6. Verse 24. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Assyria, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. Samaria is a country where the northern kingdom dwelt at. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it. And this is what Esau gonna come to do, to besiege the ghettos of America, to siege the food supplies, to siege everything in America. And they besieged it until all asses had and they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 40 score pieces of silver. And I believe that's 25,000. And the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver, and that's like 1,500, if I'm calculating it right. As the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, "Help me, Lord, O king." And I wanted to revisit that, because it said an ass head was sold for 4 score pieces of silver. So that's inflation. If you don't know what the word inflation is, it's the definition. Inflation. Basically the rise or the increase of something that's normally at a regular or another price. So this will happen again, man. There's going to be another inflation or a deflation in America, and that's going to cause famine. Then continue on this, verse 27, verse 26. To revisit the verse 26, a woman was crying. More than likely, she was hungry. Verse 27, and he said, "If the Lord doth not help thee, whence shall I help thee?" So the king of Israel at the time, he said, if the Lord can help you, how can I help you? Out of the barn floor and out of the wine press. I can't help you with what's in the barn. Ain't nothing in the barn, and ain't nothing in the wine press. Verse 28, and the king said unto her, "What aileth thee?" And she answered, "This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow." So this is going to happen again, man. The spirit on Eve, which goes back to the curses in Deuteronomy 28, and I believe it's 54 and 58, to eat their children in the siege, man. And this is going to happen again. So she said, give me thy son today, and we eat my son tomorrow. That's a terrible spirit to have on you. But in those days, ain't going to be nothing to eat, man. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son, and we may eat it. And we may eat. So she gave the lady her son. They both took him and boiled him, and they ate him. You know, it's terrible. It's the nastiness of the scriptures. You know, eat him, and she have hid her son, and it came to pass when the king heard the word of the woman that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he have sackcloth within upon his flesh. So the king, even the king at the time, he like, man, it's terrible, man, terrible judgment. And this is going to happen, and it's coming to America, the land of American, which is Babylon the Great, you know. And this is to basically to give you an image of how terrible it's going to be, man. You know. Fathers eating their children because the lack of bread. You know, the sons eating their fathers, you know, turning against their fathers, turning against each other. You know, that hunger is a heavy demon that make you do anything for food, man. Let me get another scripture. Like I said, the hunger will make you do anything. It said in the scriptures that it's gonna be it's worse to die by the sword in those days than by hunger, man. Cause you slowly dying. You know, you slowly wasting away. You know. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4. I start at verse 9. And they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. Because you got a quick death if you being slain with the sword, you know. But when you slain with hunger, with famine, you slowly dying. You slowly wasting away, you know. For those pain away stricken through what of the fruit, for want of the fruit of the field. You stricken away, you know. And if you don't got Yahweh Shai's protection guiding you, then you gonna get demons on you to do anything for food, man. Verse 10. The hand of the pitiful woman had sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. So in the destruction of Israel was, you know, what happened again in Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7-8. That our women and our men, they're gonna be basically eating each other, man. Boiling each other. Fathers eating their sons, sons eating their fathers, man. That's what it says, Ezekiel 5:10. You get that. But this is prophetic, man. This is prophecy. You know, we gotta expect for this to happen, man. Because the scripture said, man, there's no new thing under the sun. There's no new thing under the sun. We get 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 46. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. Because you're going to have people trying to stock up. You know, the spirit of stocking up. You know, it's really no point because, you know, FEMA camp soldiers, martial law soldiers, they can come in your house and just take it. Or you're gonna have groups and gangs. If you ever watch movies such as you know, The Purge, or, you know, end time apocalyptic movies, you know, you always have people searching people's houses, you know, looking for food, looking for things to eat, you know. So for strangers shall reap, go back to it, for strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captive. So they're gonna be taking people's children, you know, captive, man. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. So in captivity and famine shall they get children. Why they getting children? To eat them, man. You know, to basically eat them, man. Get children. They steal children. Still was in your house. You may say the children until they don't have nothing to eat. Just fatten them up. What they find, you know. They're gonna be taking children captive, man. You know. So basically, that's what it come down to, man. You know, famine. And the sons eating their fathers and fathers eating their sons. That's what it's saying in Jeremiah, man. Let me get that scripture. Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. Jeremiah 19:9. And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend and the siege. And we can look up that word siege, man. Basically it means to be taken over by authority, basically. And straightness wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall straighten them. You know? And that's what's coming, man. Famine, great death, pestilence. You know? What shall we do when those things happen, man? Trust in the Lord. You know? Because he's our God. Do all hell, man. You get Ezekiel 5:10. It's the book of Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 10. Therefore the father shall eat the sons in the midst of thee. You know, brothers ain't gonna have nothing to eat, man. Even in Israel. You're not the elect, but you know, 2/3 of Israel. You know. The 2/3, man, they gonna be like, man, there ain't nothing to eat. What can I eat, man? It's gonna drive a man mad, man. Like, dang, my son, sad to say, but my son look tasty, man. Therefore the father shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers, and I will execute judgment in thee, and the whole remnant of thee will I scatter into the winds. So right. And the sons shall eat the fathers. The fathers, and likewise the fathers the sons, man. And this is coming, man. Great death, you know, to Babylon the Great. I'll get one more for edification. The book of Isaiah, chapter 9. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 20. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. Right, man, people gonna be hungry in those days. Snatching up anything. And he shall eat of the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied, because you ain't gonna be satisfied with what you gonna have, you know. And they shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm, man. And that's what's gonna basically be driven to, man. You ain't got nothing to eat, man. My arm look tasty, man. That's the mindset of the 2/3, the mindset of these other nations. But the man of the Lord, we gonna be looking for the Lord to protect us and to provide for us, you know, in those days, you know, because we keeping the commandments and we ain't gonna fear no evil thing or feel no evil thing, you know. That's what it says in Ecclesiastes 8:5. If you're gonna trust in the Lord in these last days, He gonna provide for us, like He provided for Elijah, the bread from you know, a sparrow, a raven, Salaki, and provide for Daniel when he was in the lion's den, you know. He fed him by Habakkuk. The angel transported Habakkuk to the lion's den to feed Daniel, you know. So I just wanted to go into that, you know. Cannibalism in the scriptures is coming back in a big way, you know. And terrible judgment gonna be out here in the streets of America, man. So with that, I'm gonna give a call Allah and Yahweh Shmi Awashah. You know, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Awashah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Awashah, call Allah like Yahweh Shmi Awashah. And that, man, Shalom, Shalom Israel.